Okay, so today is a light exercise day because I've been outside doing some yard work. I was doing sprinklers. There's my dirty gloves and my all this stuff there, my shovel. But I was trying to deal with sprinklers today, and so that was partially my exercise for the day. Uh, get your old sprinklers there, and I'm about to go walk. So I've been fixing some, and some I still gotta fix where the flags are. Some I already fixed, um, but I think I gotta go back in. Yeah, that one fixed, and another one down here. I think I gotta go back in and get my what you call it, my jacket and a cap. It's chilly. I didn't realize it was this cold outside. It was warm when I was out here earlier. Yeah. Uh, all right, so I gotta go back in, get a cap and something warm. All right, so you got a cap on and and the windbreaker. Do people even call these windbreakers anymore? They're jacket windbreakers, whatever. But that's it. All right, so just going for a walk around the neighborhood, and by the time I walk around the neighborhood, it'll be it'll be I'll do about 4 miles maybe for the day because I've been moving up and down so much since morning. But but the neighborhood walk is about a mile and a half if I go into all the little alcoves and cul-de-sac. One lap, about a mile and a half. So yeah, I might just jog a little bit too if I'm up to it. Yesterday I did legs and I can feel it. I didn't even do the whole thing. I stopped partway. But P90X is about 10 exercises, and I do that, and then I break it up with something else. Break it up with something else. Um, uh, as I go along, I don't just do all P90X exercises. Sometimes I go for a walk like this, or go backpacking. One of these days, I'm going to be out in the park backpacking for probably about an hour, hour and a half, maybe, out at Okehele Park at the trail. They have a nice trail out there. I've been out there before biking, doing some trail biking. Or maybe that's what I'll do. I'll go biking out there. Yeah, I gotta get something else to hold my phone onto the bike, because what I have is for a smaller phone, and I got a new phone. I got the Galaxy Z Fold, and it is really nice. But I put it in a nice fat case to protect it, and now it's big and fat. So I gotta get new phone holders to hold on to it. All right. So, all right. Nice and cool outside, and the neighborhood is bustling with kids playing ball. You don't see this in the summer. All right. How you doing? Good, yeah. Yeah. All right. I live in a pretty nice neighborhood. We've lived here since 2003, since August 2003. And I like it because it's not gated, no high HOA fees and all that stuff. We have one. But when we came here, gotta fly in my nose. When we came here, that HOA fee was, it was $20 a month. Now it's up to $75 a month. In 20 years, that's not bad. Most HOA dues are $400 or $500 now. And so, but we don't have a park, we don't have anything in here besides the roads and green area, a lot of green area that they have to cut. But other than that, there's nothing in here. I mean, most people don't use that stuff anyway. And as a realtor, in my experience, people who buy in those communities most of the times don't use the stuff in the community. They don't use the clubhouse. They don't use the gym. So the few who really get their money's worth are really just a few. Everybody else has paid for it for them. So I didn't want to be in a community where I have had this flying off here, where I have I have to pay for that stuff because I know we weren't going to use it every day. I have a gym in my garage. That's all I need. If I'm gonna have to go, my kids pay for gym membership. My kids pay for gym membership. And I don't think they use it as much as they should. You're probably watching this. I got distracted there a little bit. Those kids on bikes with loud music. But they're not even on bikes. They are on electric scooters. So now, instead of the kid going out in the evening and riding his bike and getting exercise, he's scooting around on an electric scooter, making a lot of noise with music. Come on now. It's not good, guys. It's not good. Growing up as kids, you learn how to play outside. You learn how to go ride your bicycle. You learn how to run and play games. And that was exercise. That was a lot of exercise. By the time you come home from school, do your homework hopefully, and you run outside, you get something quick to eat real quick. You know, usually it's something with a lot of sugar, but you were gonna burn it off anyway. And you grab something to eat and run outside to play with your friends. Oh, that was like, it was golden. Those were what you call the golden years. Now, kids come home from school, and before they even do their homework, they grab something to eat. No, they don't grab something. Yeah, they get something to eat, usually sugar, as usual. But they go in front of the game, the PS3, or I don't even know what they have now, PS10, PlayStation, or whatever they have. They go in front of that, and they sit for hours, and then miss their homework because those things just grab you, you know. You have to go from one level to the next and win this one and win that one. you have to up your levels, and you're in competition, and before you know it, you didn't do any homework, you ate a lot of sugar and just sat way before, and this was way before bedtime. Before you know it, it's bedtime, and you're sitting down still trying to get your homework done. You slap it together, and then it's time for you to go shower and go to bed because you have to get up early in the morning to go to school. And there you have it. Before you know it, in about a year's time, you've put on 30 pounds just from that habit. So, tell you, the difference is, and you know, when kids go outside and run around and play, it's more than just the exercise they're getting. They're interacting. It's with nature. They're getting fresh air. So you're overall healthier, and your mind is healthier because you're not locked in a semi-dark room looking at a screen. I mean, nowadays in school, they have screens just the same. For the most part, most of the times it's computer screens. And you come home, and then they stay, as soon as the kids leave, they're staring at their phone all the way home on the bus. And by the time they get home, they're ready to stare at another screen till bedtime. And they wake up the next day doing the same thing. I'm telling you that, I'm not even exaggerating. I'm putting it mildly compared to what some kids do. That cannot be healthy. It's very unnatural, and people weren't made to live like that. People were, we were made to go out and walk. That's why God gave us two legs and caused us to be able to balance and move on them. Walk, run, jump. Because that's what builds strong bones and muscles. When we move, if you don't work your muscles, they end up becoming atrophy. And when you're packing on a lot of fat on top of that, all you're growing is fat. And the muscles are shrinking and the fat is growing. And so other than the fat that you're carrying to help build those muscles, the muscles don't get any exercise, they don't get any work, so they don't get built. Yeah. And so I challenge parents everywhere to take your kids' life back. Take the electronics from them. Tell them they need to go out inside and play. And especially for young kids starting off, before they're 5 years old, or even as long as you can, keep them away from the screen as long as you can. Just keep them away from this computer screen and the phone screen, because they won't miss it. Eventually, with all the electronics that we have nowadays, eventually kids by default will learn that stuff. But keep them away from it so they don't get hooked on it. It doesn't become a support system for them. And because anything you do a lot, you end up craving it more. You eat a lot, you end up craving food more. You have to balance yourself when it comes to eating, and discipline yourself to eat certain times. Don't just keep eating, because then your body will just fall into that mode where every time you turn around, you want food. And for us who are Christians, you need to have fast days, full 24-hour fast, at least one day a week. And so you get your body accustomed to being without that satiation of food for at least 24 hours. Yeah. And then the 3-day fast that we do here once a month, that's good too. If you can do 3 days straight, that's perfect. But most people break it in the evening and then start over the next day. But I used to tell the kids when they're complaining, I'm hungry. I used to tell them, it takes 60 days to starve to death. But for a healthy adult, 3 days without food won't even harm you for a healthy adult. And some people have issues where you have to eat, or even eating less, or are um, choosing better foods for those 3 days. Like, for example, eating vegetables, drinking a lot of water, fruits, just for those 3 days. You can fast. When you fast, you don't have to fast total fast, but normally you're eating rice and chicken and bread, all that fatty stuff, and beef and burgers and all that stuff. But if you're gonna if you're gonna fast and you say, look, I can't fast food because my job, I get dizzy, get lightheaded, I can't fast food fully. If you switch those meals to vegetables and make them smaller, you won't get lightheaded. If you get lightheaded just because all you're eating is a plate of vegetables, and please don't pour a whole cup of salad dressing on your vegetables. It's just defeat the purpose of a vegetable. Learn to eat your vegetables raw, and learn to eat them with some olive oil or a light amount of salad dressing, because all the salad dressing has is salt and fat and sugar. And so learn to eat and people say, oh, it doesn't taste good, it doesn't feel good. It's discipline. When you discipline yourself to do something, it always tastes good, always feels good. When you discipline yourself to do it, you tell yourself, oh, I'm just going to do it, and you just do it. And then it doesn't feel like torture, because you already made up your mind to do it. So it's not even torture. It becomes a lot easier when you have a made up mind. Yeah. Yeah, so it's just like a Nike commercial. Just do it. Oh, yeah. Yeah, so you can eat vegetables sometime. And just and fruits or something light when you're on your fast days, if you can't do a total fast, like if you're out doing a lot of strenuous work. But otherwise, water, and take your mind off of food. When you occupy your mind with reading God's word, plus you're gonna be working, so you have to pay attention to that. And but your little time you get, little downtime, like your lunch break and your other breaks, you grab your phone and look up a scripture and read it. Think about what it means. Look up the meaning of certain words. And there's tons of resources out there. You can use GPT for almost anything. All right, I love ChatGPT. But when I use ChatGPT, I verify the information from other credible sources, very credible sources, like an encyclopedia or something like that. But once I get the information, it's good to find the information, because it pulls information from various sources, and then it references sources that it pulled the information from, which are the sources that you would have gone to anyway. And so that's why ChatGPT is good. It's not just pulling information from random people, like all the guys on YouTube. And sometimes people search for information there, and it's only other people's opinion. So I'm going over here to the lake. We have a little lake in here. Well, our community is on Lake Wellington, and so we have a little park area here with some benches where you can sit and just look at the water. Sometimes I come over here and sit and just just relax and look at the water and meditate. It's a good area, good, nice little area, nice little park. This is called Lake Wellington. All right, but I gotta get going because I gotta get to church soon. It's Wednesday evening and there's Bible study. Wednesday evening we have Bible study at 7 p.m. but we have pre-service prayer at 6:45. Beautiful Lake Wellington. You know, I said that the village, if the village was very thoughtful when they made the village here, before people came out here to live, they would have bought out all the land around the lake and then make like a make it like a walk-in area around that lake, so that you know, people can enjoy it. All right, good evening. There's a lot of homes. It's all homes around there, but one part of it still has the village community center, and that you can go to the little village park area there and enjoy the lake. But other than that, I think such a significant lake, they should have planned ahead, bought it out, and let people use it for the community rather, so we could go walk around there and have you know, different things set up around the lake. Yeah, just poor insight. That's why planning is very essential. Plan, and plan way down the road. I was looking at Wellington complex, the Wellington Sports Academy, Wellington Sports Academy, that is going to be in this area. This football star, or former football player rather, Jonathan Bostic, they're going to build it. And then when I look at the information, they said they've been planning this for 10 years now. And so, you guys have planned for the next 10 years that it's going to come into fruition in 10 years? Because 10 years is going to come whether you like it or not, or whether you plan anything or not. That 10 years is going to just creep up on you. You know, 2014, I look back at people I sold homes to in 2014 or 2015, and it seemed like it was just the other day. It seemed like they just not long ago moved into their home, and they're turning around and getting ready to move. Like quite a few of them, actually 4 people right now, that some of them are in church. One of them is in church. Well, 2 of them, not here at church, in church, but one of them is here in church, at our church. A young person too, very young person. But during that 10-year period, he bought his home in 2016. It's like 9 years. 2016 or 2017, one of those. But it's almost 10 years now. And so he can't believe it. It's like, I can't believe it is that long I've been here. But since then, he's married. He married, got half kid, and they're ready to move because now they've outgrown the place that they're in. So life happens fast, and 10 years go by in a very, very short time. It's now 2025. Before you know it, it'll be 2035. When it was 2012, and you know, you hear on the news sometimes, the news people say, oh, the city planned to do this by 2025. And I'm thinking, this is 2005. That's 20 years from now. It'll never happen. It'll never come. I won't even see 2005. I'm remembering when the market was going up right after we bought our home here in Wellington. And the market shot up in 2005, 2006. And I'm thinking, oh yeah, the market is the prices back then were prices that we have now. That's how bad it was. That's, that's how much the market shot up. 20 years ago, those prices were the same prices like we have now. That's how expensive it was compared to now. So home prices are not terribly expensive now because they're pretty close to what they would have been with normal appreciation. It's just that they're a little bit higher because of the fact that there is the COVID thing happened, and then people started to move a lot, and there was a shortage of homes because there was a shortage of building materials and all that. Hey, let's see. Oh yeah, yeah. Yes, I'm doing my walk, and yeah, Missy is in my walk too, but she's in her car.
Okay, I ran at the gym.
You ran. You have on a Dead Jesus jacket. Yeah, so almost ran that woman over, Jasmine, with her little doggies. Anyway, yeah, so time goes by fast, so don't tarry. I wish I had this perspective 30 years ago. Then I'd have latched on to something that I really, I'd have stopped, figured out exactly, go to great lengths and take great pains to figure out exactly. Landscaping is noise pollution, you know that. It is noise pollution, especially when you have 4 or 5 different guys cutting 4 or 5 different yards close together. Oh gosh, you might as well be in a sawmill. But yeah, but what I would have done, I would have sit down. If I had this perspective years ago, I would have sat down and I would have taken probably half a year just to really research, search, pray, search my heart, talk to people, and figure out exactly what I wanted to do for the next 20 years, what I wanted to achieve, build, do for the next 20 years. And then I'd lay out a plan and then I'd go for it. The Navy SEAL motto says, no plan survives first contact with the enemy. No plan. So, things are not gonna work out exactly you want them, but you regroup, reorganize, recalibrate, recalculate, all of the re's, and do it and start over and do it again and keep going till you achieve it. That's how you achieve anything, because no plan, no matter what you plan, is not going to go exactly as planned. Never, ever, ever. So the Navy SEAL motto is, when you plan to go face that enemy, by the time you get there, after the first contact with the enemy, your whole plan falls apart. So you have to have contingencies. You have to figure out that, okay, you gotta have a backup plan. Yes, for no plan survives first contact with the enemy. It looks good on paper, but when you get there, it's a whole nother story. Yep, I could tell you that for sure. Everybody, we had all our nice, cushy plans. Going to Desert Storm. We didn't know. First of all, we were supposed to set up a field hospital, right? And we got all the equipment. We didn't know we were going to sit at the port in Daran for we were there for more than a week just to get a spot before we could get a spot to go set up the field hospital. We were there for a week Well, first of all, before we left, we were at where were we? Langley? We left out of in Virginia. I think it was Langley. We left out of Air Force Base, and is Langley in Virginia? I don't even remember where my Air Force bases are. I know where the Army bases are, but I think Langley's in Norfolk, Virginia, and that's where we left out of. And so when we flew out, we when we before we flew out rather, we went there. We got on alert and went to got all our gear and all our stuff back. We were in Fort Lee, Virginia, so I think we did fly out of Langley. We had a whole convoy of all our gear and all our stuff going a few weeks before us, and then we rolled out and went to Langley, and we slept at on the tarmac for in the airport hangar rather, not the tarmac is where the plane is. We slept in the hangar for another 2 days before we left out. Hence the saying in the military, or in the Army at least, hurry up and wait. We were on alert to get to this place, and when we get to the airport to fly out, they're like, okay, we have to stay here for another 2 days. So we were there for 2 days, and then flew out to, I think it was a straight flight. I don't remember us stopping anywhere. Straight into Dhahran, Saudi Arabia. Yeah, it was a military aircraft, so it flew straight in there. And then we were at the port for like a week, and then it looked like the logistics didn't work all of this out well, because after a while, there were a lot of people at the port, and then just hanging out there. We slept on our cots. We had our cots in our duffel bag, and so we rolled out our cots, and people just slept. We also slept there at the hangar, another hangar, or at the port rather, and before we got our spot. And there's a whole lot more to this story. So next time when I do another walk, I'll tell the next part of the story. All right, see ya.